Let's go across also to Sumit Bagadia. He's Head Commodities and Currency Research, Testimony Commodities, and also joining us is Vijay Bamwani. He's author and CEO, BSPLindia.com. Vijay, let me start with you, and let's start with the gold prices first. And the kind of jump up that we have seen since the European markets open, do you see it sustaining till the end of the day?
I think so, yes, because the data and the guidance from the US has been somewhat cautious. And that might just see a 100, 150 rupee rally in gold prices. But I think rally is likely to be capped because unless 29,750 or 29,800 is overcome forcefully, there would be profit taking coming in from overhead supplies. So the upsides are likely to be capped here intraday basis.
What's your sense into this as well? I mean, do you think you might be looking at gold prices gaining today in the US markets?
See, Manisha, as far as short-term view is concerned, I'm expecting gold prices to come down. In fact, I'm expecting a correction of 400 to 500 rupees in MCX. So for very short-term, that means for next 1 week to 10 days time horizon, I would be a seller in gold somewhere at around 29,650 or 600 levels. For that, I would like to maintain a stop loss of around 29,800 on higher side for the downside targets of 29,400. And if price are able to break and give close below to 29,400, then a further sell-off can be seen till 29,200 or 29,000 levels. This would be a very short-term correction for next 10 to 15 days. Once this correction is over, then I would be a buyer at lower levels somewhere around 29,000 levels for the upside target of 32,000 rupees. So my overall view for next 3 to 4 months remains bullish in gold. Anytime dips in prices till 29,000 levels, I would be a buyer for longer-term target of 32,000 and 32,000 above in next 4 to 5 months.
Right, so bullish call coming in for the medium term there. But Sumit, what's your sense coming in for the crude prices? Because we did see declines coming into that one. Do you see there could be further downside into that?
See, as far as very short-term view is concerned, that means for next 1 week to 10 days time horizon, I don't think so that crude will give a steeper fall from these levels. In fact, I'm expecting crude to move up a little bit. I'm expecting crude in NYMEX to touch levels of around $89 and $92. That means a rise of around $5 to $6 from present levels. As far as MCX levels are concerned, I'm expecting crude to touch levels of around 5,000 rupees in next 1 week to 10 days time horizon. So for very short term, I would be a buyer in crude at around 4740 or 4750 levels with a stop loss to be placed at 4700 on downside for the upside target of 4850. And if price are able to break those levels, then further rise can be seen till 5,000 rupees. This would be a very short term view for next 10 to 15 days. Overall at $90 or $92 in NYMEX, I would be a seller in crude for the targets of around $78 in next 2 to 3 months. So my longer term view on crude is bearish. For very short term, I'm expecting some pullback in prices.
All right, that's the view on crude. But Vijay, what's your sense coming in for the base metal prices? Because we've seen the Chinese imports data come in on the weaker side today. Do you think that would put much on pressure on that?
I think select base metals are already looking a tad under pressure. I recommended shorts on nickel yesterday and profit targets were met. And same with aluminium, it's showing signs of pressure. Copper is unable to go past the 430-32 levels. So I would basically press shorts at higher levels. As a matter of fact, nickel I would not mind shorting again, provided it goes up a little to 911 levels, hold with a stop loss at 916. Expect to book profits close to 902 levels. This would be a priority trade. And the second trade I would recommend is shorting aluminium futures in the July series at somewhat higher levels of say 106 levels. Hold that with a stop loss of 106.5, 106.75. Expect to book profits close to 105, 5.25. So as long as the lower tops, lower bottoms formation is in place, I think I would seek opportunities in shorting at higher levels.
Shorting at higher levels. Sumit, would you go with that kind of a strategy for the base metal prices? Is that how you see it in the intraday day today?
See, Manisha, as far as base metals are concerned, I've seen that from past couple of days, base metals are moving in a very small range, especially when we talk of copper, zinc, lead, aluminum, nickel. All the commodities are moving in a very small range. As far as very short-term view is concerned, I'm expecting some pullback in all the base metals. I would buy copper at around 421 or 422 levels. For that, I would maintain a stop loss of around 417 for the upside target of 426 and 431 rupees. I would buy zinc too. I'm expecting zinc prices to touch levels of around 106. So I would prefer buying in zinc between 102 and 103 with a stop loss to be placed at 100.50 on downside for the upside target of 106 and 108 rupees. This is again a very short-term view for next 10 to 15 days. My overall view for next 3 to 4 months on all the base metals is bearish. Whenever I see a rise of around 2% from these levels, I would be a seller at higher levels for the downside of around at least 5%, bare minimum fall of 5%, and after 5% we can see a fall of around 8 to 10% also. For that we need to wait and watch for next 3 to 4 months.